Hi friends, welcome to Aishusdiy. Today we will make something with Bargain Bead Box Subscription for the month of November 2021, and I haven't picked up the gemstone beads or these beads that we got in the box. So I picked up only the crystals and the roundels and the glass beads here, plus these leaves. We have 4 leaves and I'm going to use 3 leaves in my project. It's going to be a necklace project, and I'm going to use the chain, the rose gold chain that we got, and these findings that we got from the box, and this toggle clasp, and I made some jump ring for myself. I didn't have rose gold findings or wire or something like that, so the only thing I have close to rose gold is a bright copper. This is 18 gauge copper and this one is 24 gauge copper wire. So that's all I have. And as you can see here, I have wrapped this pendant with these beads. So first of all, I completely forgot this roundel. So I started with these 2 colors, but those 2 colors were very light and it didn't make much difference. So I added one of this, which really pops and I really like it. You can alternate these beads without any problems whatsoever, but I have a pendant in mind that I'm going to use all 4 of these elements. First of all, we need to wrap these elements, and for that I am going to use the 24 gauge wire. I don't have a 26, that's the reason I'm using the 24 gauge. If you have 26, go ahead and use that. That would save you a lot of trouble. And we need some jump rings and we need some figure 8 hoops. So I made these 2. I will make one more with you guys. We need 3 of those, and the rest we will design as we go by. We need the chain as well. I'm going to use the chain, but first what we will do is we will wrap these pendants. So I'm going to use all 4 of the pendants. As I said, you can, if you want, you can just use 2 of these pendants and then save the rest for the earrings. It's totally up to you, but let's just wrap it first. So for me, I'm going to take my ruler and then I'm going to measure about, say, 1.5 inch for every wrap, or you can cut a big piece and then work yourself out with that. As the moment you finish it off, you can cut it and use it for the next wrap as well, whichever is easy for you. So I am going to, you can wrap it either way, doesn't matter, but I have twisted these and joined together in a particular format. So I need that format to keep because there is one side which is the back and one side which is the top, which has the embellishment of the beads. So this is the pattern I'm going to follow. So these findings are 2-sided. As you can see, there is these 2 leaves which is close to each other, right? These 2 leaves which is close to each other, and this one is farther away. So this is how I'm going to construct this pendant part. So I want this particular way to wrap. So as you can see, this is how I have laid down. So I'm not going to change the side upside down or something like that. So I have just figured out how to connect all of these. And so now I'm going to take this piece, okay, and then what I'm going to do is, you can change. See, I have used the champagne color or this lighter color, 2 of these beads here and the green here, 1 and 1 here. You can shift it. So I'm going to use then we can use this here, and then we can use, so you can just see, lay down and see how it looks. So this way we can use 2 of these right here and 1 of these here. This actually looks really nice. I want to continue with this pattern. Okay, let's just wrap this guy here in the same pattern. Okay, so first of all, this 1.5 inch will suffice for only one bead, so I'm gonna do either of these 3 loops, 3 petals on the bottom or on the top, if you say. So I'm just going to start with this. So just insert the wire and bring it down, just like so. So, and then wrap it. I'm just going to get a little bit closer so that you guys can see better. There we go. So the wire is coming out. Use your tweezer nose pliers or whichever pliers has a smaller nose per se. And then I'm wrapping it, not with my fingers, with my pliers, because that's how I will get a tight wrap. Tuck that tail in right there, and then you have basically attached your pendant right here. So hopefully okay, this is the way I want it to be. So now your wire is coming on the top, bring it on the top. You have attached it right there. Now take the wire, straighten it out a little bit, and then the champagne color is the one which we are going to use, which is a bicone, and then seat it on top of that petal right there. Then take it with the help of your pliers, okay, insert the wire inside. So it will come on this side, insert a little bit more. You need your pliers here to help you out with this. You can't rely on your fingers for this. I tried, but it's difficult. Oops, sorry. So just pull it and align these together. Make sure you do this tight. And we are doing this across the petal, right? So then insert it again. We need at least 3 wraps is what I'm aiming for. You don't have to have a lot, because it's 24 gauge. It will still hold its shape without any problem. And if it is 26 gauge, probably you can wrap it with your fingers, but I'm not so sure. Just press it against the finding. Make sure you get this up. There we go. And then there's the short tail right there. Tuck the tail in, inside, and a little bit into the loop. Now you have secured that bead to the petal. As you can see, this is how we are going to secure every single thing. So that's how we are going to do. So we did this, we are going to do that again. 1.5 inch of wire, or you can do a big strip and then go ahead and take some 4 inches or so, and then you can wrap it with that. That is also not a problem. Cut a piece, cut a length, a little bit more than this also would suffice. So here you go, just put it in here, okay, wrap it, just bend the wire about a centimeter or so, leaving about just a centimeter or so, and then take that centimeter of wire and then put it inside the loop, this petal, tighten it up, and then we are basically wrapping it around the petal, right? And then once you have secured that, make sure it's close by. Take your time to do this. It takes a bit of time. Now we are ready to attach the bead. The next bead would be a maroon bead, the roundel that we got, the matte one. There we go. Just push all this wire wrapping towards this end right here, and you're ready to do the wrapping. So if it's a long piece, sometimes it's easy to do this. So sometimes it might kink. So whichever is comfortable, go ahead and do it. Once you do the 2 wraps, go get it over here and snip it just about over there. Can you see that small little thing? That we are going to tuck it in. There we go. So this is what we have so far. So now we have another piece, so we don't have to cut anymore, right? For at least the time being. So we need a green there. See, these 2 petals are very close to each other, so you need to be a little bit careful. So again, put this 1 centimeter in, like you can put it from down to whichever is easy for you, just like that. Hold it against your frame, put this inside and bring it down. So use your pliers to tighten that wrap. There we go. Then take the short one. So here we go. This is where we have, right? So it's a small portion. Take this short guy, put it inside. And feed it through this small gap right there. I'm trying to pull this here and then tuck it in, basically right there. We have secured this, but we need this big wire to come across this, right? So you need to make sure. There we go. So now we are going to take the green glass bead. You can switch this, or you can just use the red one, which is really bright in color. You can do so many things. I'm just including all of them. Okay, keep it on top, going underneath. Picking it up making a tight wrap right there. Okay, and then take this in, put it through, use your pliers to actually do the work for you. See this? I have overworked the wire, but that's okay. This much is more than enough for me. So that's the risk you run if you work with a longer piece of wire, but it's easy to work with a longer piece of wire. Luckily for me, it didn't take a long. It didn't. I still had stuff to wrap with, so I'm good to go. Otherwise, I would have to remove them and then redo it, right? So that's not fun. I have this tail that I need to tuck it in, so the angle is not proper. So I did that. So you can hold these two together, do some adjustment, whichever you want. We are done with that petal. Then do this and do this. These two petals are a little bit bigger, so you can use 2 beads for that. So again, we need some wire. I'm just gonna eyeball it. So here again, the same thing, 1 centimeter or so, put it in the loop, hold it against your finding, just like so, then bend the wire. And then once you bend that wire, take the short one and then feed it through the petal. Pull this tight and cinch this towards each other and push this where you want it to be. Take the short tail, feed it through the petal again, bring it, and tuck that in. There we go. Cinching it and tucking it. Now you are ready to add the 2 beads. These 2 beads are going to be the green one as well. So I didn't use the champagne color, I just used at the tip. So here we go. Put this bead across, and then they're going to come back through this. And there we go. Just push this down here. We want the bead to rest inside the petal and not anything else. Feed it through this petal and pull it with the help of your pliers, and then that should be good actually. So I'm going to go ahead and snip it off right there. Can you see that? Then I'm gonna tuck this in just a bit inside the loop, and then make this straight. There we go. That's done. Now this part. This won't be enough. I can use this for wrapping just a single bead, but for a double bead it won't be enough, so I'm taking a little bit more, a bigger piece. And this one is about, say, 3 inches. Yes. So now towards this side. So feeding it through the petal, bringing it down, taking this short tail, take my pliers and feed it through, just like so. Come down and then feed it through. If you can do it with your fingers, go ahead and do it. If not, use your pliers. There we go. And then bring this up here. Now I'm going to go ahead and tuck this in and then cinch all of this together. Now my wire is coming like that. Take 2 beads and put it over here, and then take these and come inside the petal from underneath and pull this tight. There we go. Again, take this, put it through the loop. Okay, and pull this one more time, and that's it, done. Bring it to the back and snip it about just a little bit more than what we need, just like that, and then tuck this in. We are done wrapping it. Yes, it takes a little bit of time, but I'm saying it's worth it. So you can go ahead and do this. And I'm going to do the same pattern in this one right here, and then the same pattern in this one right here, just to have a little bit of a difference. Okay, so now I'm going to wrap these two and come back. Hi friends, welcome back. So I finished wrapping all of these and I kept it in this particular fashion so that I know what to connect and how to connect. So I made it and then I'm just retracing the steps. First we need to make this H-shaped thing. So for that I have 18 gauge wire, that's soft copper wire, and I bought this from, you won't believe, it's from Home Depot. So yep, I got this from Home Depot. Then I'm gonna flush cut the end. Always flush cut the end when you are making a jump ring or you are making a figure 8 finding. Doesn't matter, just take this, okay, between your pliers and about, say, center or so. I'm just going to make a loop, right, just like so. Once you make that loop, right, keep the loop in between your pliers. take the biggest size of your pliers, the biggest size, and then make another loop just on the top of that, and it has to cross. When it crosses, snip it off. Make sure you do the flush cut end over here. That's it, you made the figure 8 pattern. So you can actually, what you can do is you can hammer this a bit so it's easy for you to work with. It's totally up to you. It's not necessary to hammer, but if you want a stable finding, the best way to do is to hammer. It also holds its shape nicely. Sorry if it is loud. See how nicely it sits right there. That's what we want. Now we shall put together this thing. So now I just laid it out in the pattern that I want. I have here some jump rings. You can use a smaller jump ring. I made a rather big jump ring, as you can see. But first we need to connect this to this. So the first finding, so this is the way I connected. If you find a better way to connect this, go ahead and do it. But this is how I figured I can join this. It is just a design element that I thought. You don't have to do the thing, so you can just put it 2 jump rings and put a chain, and this one is wrapped and very pretty. It will go really well. But I just want to show you guys how we can do this also. It's like a kinetic pendant. It's moving. So this one is connected to the bottom right side leaf, and then we are going to insert into the topmost part and then connect the other one, left hand top leaf. Once I connect it, you guys will see this. That's where I connected these two. So I am holding it like this so that you guys can see what I did. So once you do that, take this and hold it there, right? When you hold it there, you will know exactly where to put this and how. So these two connect, and these connect as well. Hi friends, welcome to Aishudiy. Welcome back. I just figured that I did one thing wrong. So there is these elements, as you can see. I'll pick up one leaf and tell you guys, these two leaves are close to each other, and these ones are a little bit apart than this one. So there is certain way of putting this together. I figured it out just by keeping it. It's very easy for you. So just keep it and then follow a pattern, and then you will get to assemble the 4 pieces together. So I removed one and then redid one of this pendant wrapping because the alignment was not proper. So I figured it out that 2 leaves which is close to each other. Okay, this pendant is 2-sided, as you guys can see, right? So one is to be like this. So one has to be like this to actually connect with each other. The rest has to be like this. The rest of the pendants, the 2 leaves which is close to each other needs to be on the left, and for only one of them it needs to be on the right, if that makes sense. Okay, just take a screenshot just keep it and then take a screenshot which combination that you guys like, and then go ahead with it. So now I'm gonna take my jump ring, and then I'm gonna attach these two. First this one right here, and the petal right here is where I want to attach the first petal and the hoop from the second finding. Okay, and then close my jump ring. So this is what we got. It's not confusing. It is very straightforward once you get it. See, I have did it unknowingly on the back side. There we go. So now we shall correct that. It's not a big thing. Okay, there we go. So I connected the leftmost leaf and the loop in the next finding first. So there we go. And then I want to connect this here and here and here. It's not difficult, trust me. Okay, so that's what I need to do. So now I'm gonna take another jump ring and connect this petal and this one right here. So we are connecting 3, and then we connect the last one later once we are done with this. Okay, again I did it on the wrong side. That's okay. We got this, we can do it. There we go. So now use your bent nose pliers and close this jump ring. So here we go. And now I need to attach this here. If I just attach this to this guy right here, the rest will go on top of each other. So what I figured as much is I can do this one and this one instead of that one. That way I'll bring this all together like this, right? So I take another jump ring, open it up, and then take this petal right here and this one right here. So I advise you guys to put this one back down all the time whenever you put a jump ring. Again, I did it on the opposite direction. I'm doing it every single time, you guys, but that's okay. So every time you add a jump ring, put the piece down and see how it flows, and then go ahead and figure out the next step. That way it'll be easy for you guys to figure that out, is my opinion. So here I go. I take another jump ring and then put this through this loop first, which is rather difficult, I see, because the gauge of this jump ring is much thicker than the one that I used before. So I figured I took the big jump ring off, and I'm gonna put the small jump ring that I have in my stash through these. It is a little bit tough to handle this. If I can make a little bit bigger jump ring, less than this size and greater than this size, that would be good. But I want to work it out with this. Let's see if we can. those are the challenges that you face when you're designing a new thing, you know. So there we go. I did it. Oops. There is no place to hold that. There we go. Let me just... Okay. We did it. Now that's that, and I need to do this. There is one more thing that you need to consider is because these are bigger jump rings, you have nice flow, and here it is not, because we have smaller jump rings. So that is something that needs to be considered as well. Let me see how well it holds. That's one more thing, crucial part that needs to be taken into account. Let's see how it flows. I did that. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do it one. See, if you do this, it just actually stays nicely and neatly only without any problems. But I would like to attach more jump ring just over here between this one, between this petal from the left hand side and this one right here. So just going to use this jump ring and see how it looks. The bigger jump rings are easier to put. Now I feel that it is much more coherent with all of these. So now I'm happy with this. Now I'm going to create the dangles. See the 8 figurines that we made? So now we are going to use that to attach these leaves to these petals. Okay, first I am going to actually open this up. I'm going to show you guys the bigger loop in the 8 figurines. That's where we are going to open and add our acrylic leaf to it. This one is a red with a gold wash that we received in this month's subscription box. And then close this so that you have a dangle right there. Then there is 2 parts to it. There is golden and then there is this matte one. You can use anything whichever you think you like it. You can turn the leaf accordingly, but I would prefer this one right here. This one right here. I think this is the front part. Let's open the topmost loop and add it to this petal, which is the last one right here. Make your way through. Move the bead if you want to a little bit and just there we go. And then close the loop. Don't worry about it, everything will fall into place. So this is what I have. And then I like the shinier side up. It's okay if you do it either way, it's fine. So I'm doing this shinier side up. Okay, now open this up and attach it to this end of the pendant. Figure it out. There we go. These are attached. Now the last one. The last one might be a little bit tricky because we have a jump ring right here which is rather big. So wiggle it out and you will be able to put this through. And close the loop. Here we go. Our focal is ready. I hope you guys like this. It is, I know it's small elements combined together to form this big focal piece, but I really like this. If you don't like it, you can just hang this in an order like 3 and then continue, but I really like such a big neck piece pendant in the necklace. So with this, you don't have to do much. All you need to do is a little bit of chain, and then like simple would be good, but what I am trying to do here is I'm gonna just make a small element here so that we can attach everything together and it still looks nice. So I'm going with the 18 gauge only because that's the color I have available, and I can work with it without any problems. The only thing is my beads needs to go through this. Let me just check. Yes, my beads are going through. All my beads, I guess. Yeah. And the glass beads, let's see. Okay, the glass beads are not going through. Okay, not a problem. What we can do is we can take this 24 gauge wire. You can take a 20 gauge wire if you have one in copper. Let me just grab. Here we go. I grabbed some 20 gauge wire. Take about say 3 inches. That's more than enough. This is a Joann's brand, and I need some findings. I'm gonna take the spacer beads, the daisy spacers that we got. Not much. 4 or 5 should be good enough. First, let me do a wrap loop. I just made the loop, the tail very short, little bit difficult to tuck it in, but we can do it. Actually, I'll cut another piece because I want to attach the chain before I do the wrap, before I close the wrap. Okay, So here we go. So I take one end of the chain. I will measure it later. I want this to be, let me just measure and now cut it. Okay, so here we go. Want this to be a 16-inch one only. So 8-inch chain. I'll cut 2 pieces for 8-inch length. There we go. And then one more length of that. It doesn't have to be exact, you know. So 2 8-inch pieces, and then take my ruler and keep it away. Take the round nose pliers and make a wrapped loop. But before closing the loop, this time I shall add my chain. There we go. Hold on to that and then wrap it around just like so, and then snip off the excess wire. Tuck the tail in if there is one. Now take this piece, straighten it up, and you can start with a bicone. A spacer, the red bead, roundel, a spacer, then the glass one, right, just like so. And then we can add this if you want, but we haven't added it to the piece. And I am not using any other beads from my stash just because I want to make a design so that everybody who has received this bag or this box can actually make this design without adding anything extra. But if we add, I have this red color bicones. If we add this, that would look amazingly pretty, but I don't want to do that. So here we go. And then what I'm going to do is okay, so I am going to take these 2 jump rings, open this up. We cannot add 2 jump rings because the hole is not that big. Should we make an 8-figure link so that we can add this to that, or what can we do? I want this pendant to be attached to this as close as possible. I don't want a long length. Let me just take the small headpins that I have here in my stash. Sorry, small jump rings. You can make your own jump rings. That's very easy. I have a couple of videos in my channel for that. You guys can go ahead and watch it. How to open and close a jump ring, how to make your own jump rings. And let's just open this up. Add this pendant right here and then close it. Make sure it's completely closed, right? Take one more jump ring. We don't want to risk with one because this is a heavy piece. One more jump ring, add it to this and close it up. You can add this to this. Okay. or what you can do is just want to make a loop right here. Put your round nose pliers and make a loop just like so. Now you add this. That will sit in the loop space. Here we go. Then press the loop tight. Right? Now it has a space, designated space for it. I like it. So now we shall add our glass bead right here. Then our daisy spacer. Then the red bead, red roundel. Then a daisy spacer. And then our bicone crystal that we got. So I like it. So this will be the front part, right? Now what I will do is I'll do a wrap loop here. Done. Bend it to 90 degrees, reposition your pliers, bring it around, and before you close the loop, don't forget to add the other piece of the chain that we cut, 8 inches, and add it here. This month box was a little bit tricky for me because the colors were a little bit mismatched and there was not a lot of beads to work with, so I want to make a stunning piece with it, but still, you know, everybody will have wire in their stash whenever you have jewelry making stuff, right? So 20 gauge, 24 gauge are the staple. So I really like this. So this is a little bit oddly shaped. All you can do is I want it to be little bit in a V format. See that? I really like this. If you guys like it, please do give it a try. And then at the end, what we can do is we can add a toggle with the help of a jump ring, or you can do a lobster claw as well. The toggle comes with this bargain bead box, so I am just adding a toggle, but generally for the simple chain necklace, I wouldn't add a toggle. I will always add a lobster claw clasp because that's more than enough. And because, as I said, I want to just utilize whatever is in the box, I'm using that. There we go. And then all you need is some jump rings, and then you can put together this one. As you can see, the findings are much rose gold, like the finish is stronger with these elements than the chain, because the chain is thicker. Sorry, chain is thinner. I don't know, I'm stumbling on words today. Okay, the chain is thinner, and this one is like you can see the rose gold more because it's thicker, right? Obviously. So here is our necklace. I hope you guys like this. If you do, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon for notification. I do upload videos almost every day. It comes around 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye.